Okay, so this is day one assignment. So with this assignment, we can see the format that I want to take a look at your code. So your name, the class, the date, and then usually a description of some type of what this program is going to do. So this one's a really simple one. We're simply asking the user's name and age. We're going to add 5 to the age, and then we're going to output to the console, hello, your name will be whatever age it is in 5 years. So the purpose of this program, this assignment, is to demonstrate that you can set up Visual Studio, that you can go into Visual Studio and communicate with the console and ask for the user's input. You can process a simple thing, and then you can output back to the console. So very simple: input, process, output. And so we're gonna go through the solution for this, and we're gonna start right now. So the first thing that we want to do is add to the IO string. We're gonna go ahead and do an include, and we're gonna use string because we want the string library so that we can access it. And the other thing that we're going to do is something that I almost always do, and that's I'm going to go ahead and say using namespace, and we're going to say std. And that's so that we don't have to type this part over and over again down here, the std : because once you've done that, once you've added line 15, you no longer have to use it throughout your code. So it just makes things a little bit simpler. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our variables. So let's just go ahead and get rid of this because this is just stuff we don't need. And as long as we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and just do this now. It's a good habit to have to put return 0 because this is a function, and the function is going to be called the main function. And this function is using the int. So what this int tells us is that what is returned is going to be an integer. And that's what this means right here. And in C++, we have the open bracket, close bracket. That means whatever this block of code is in scope for this function. Okay? So pretty simple stuff. We need some variables, so we're going to go ahead and do this real quick here. And I'm just going to use this one for right now. We could use anything else. So I went ahead, I declared the variables and I initialized them. So on line 19 we have string, and my first variable is name, and so it's declared name. I also have a second string called output, and I'm going to initialize them to just blank values. So there's nothing in them. And the line 20, I have the variable age, and I'm going to initialize it as an integer, and I'm going to go ahead and assign it the value 0. And so we're good to go there. The next thing we're going to do is we want to communicate with the user and have them enter something. So we're just going to put cout, which is how we do this in C++. And we're going to say enter. So this line, all it's asking, it's saying the console out, line 22, we're going to pass to the console, enter your name, enter your age, and this is all enclosed in a string. That's why it has these parentheses. These parentheses indicate that what's inside it is a string. And then this end-al means end of line, so it returns the cursor to the next line. That's all that means. All right, well now we need to get the values that the user enters, and we're going to be assigning those values to the variables that we gave it up on top. So line 23, the console in, so whatever the user was prompted and they entered something, when we're going to assign what they entered, name, the first value that they entered is going to be assigned to the variable name, which is a string, and then the second variable, which is going to be an integer, is going to be assigned to the variable age, which is already assigned as an integer, or declared as an integer. And it's pretty simple after this. Let's see, we can just do cout, and what I'm going to do here is endl, just to return for a space. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the math, which is really just adding 5, so not a big deal. I'll explain all this in a moment. Okay, so let me go ahead and explain what I did here. So beginning on line 26, which is the new stuff, we took the variable age, and we're going to say the memory value and named age is going to be assigned the memory value that is an age, so whatever the user entered, plus 5. So age is incremented by 5. Then it's just a matter of output. I have a string called output right here, and I'm going to say the memory location named output is going to be assigned to the string hello, and then this plus right here is a concatenation in C++. It means we're going to concatenate to hello this variable, and the variable is name, so whatever they entered is a name, and then this right here, this plus right here, is we're going to concatenate to that the following string, which is enclosed in these quotations. And then after that, we're going to concatenate the age, which was an integer, which is right here, this age that was added to 5. But we can't just add the integer. We have to cast it to a string. And the way we do that in C++ is we have this to_string. And the to_string function is how we cast an integer, in this case age, to a string, so therefore it can be concatenated to the rest of the string to make one long string. I prefer to do it in right here where we can contain the entire string in a single object, in this case output, and then pass to the console the output. The reason I prefer to do it that way is later on when these applications become more complicated and these are being generated inside of a loop, it's just easier to control if it's all done in a string variable, and then later on when it's all done, when it's completed, then output to the console. Okay, so just a little bit of cleanup now, and we'll be done. So if you wanted to organize this a little bit more, I mean, this is completely unnecessary, but we could do this anyways. These would be our variables. And right here, you could consider this part here the user input. And then right here, you could consider this part here to be the process. So whatever's happening, in this case we're adding and we're concatenating, and then this very last part is output to console. You don't have to write this stuff. This is just just to help explain what's going on here. All right, so this is an example of the full code for a very simple assignment. Again, the purpose to demonstrate that you can open up Visual Studio, you can code declaring variables, asking user input, processing a little bit of information, and then outputting to the console. And then that's what this little project demonstrates. From here, you can just hit your F5 to run it. And so this will run it, and it's going to say enter your name. So I'll just put my name and a space, and then my age, which I'm going to lie about my age because nobody needs to know how old I really am, but let's just say I'm 50, which I'm older than that. And it says, hello, Bobby, in 5 years your age will be 55. And so this right here satisfies the assignment. And that's it. I'll let you take a look at the code. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to get the files that I'm interested in when you load these to me. So we'll go ahead and close this, and we'll go ahead and up on top, you're going to want to go to Solution Explorer if it's not already opened. And if you do a right click on your solution console and then drop down to Open Folder and File Explorer, that'll come up. And here it comes up. When you have it in your box right here, in your Windows, this is the file I'm interested in, the console application 3.cpp. You can tell it has the 2 plus signs here, and more importantly, it has the extension .cpp. Now, some of you might not see your extensions, and that just means you need to turn on your extensions. So if you go to View, what you want to do is make sure that this file name extensions is checked. And once you check that, then you'll be able to see your extensions on your files. Mine's checked, so just make sure yours is checked in the view of your Explorer, Windows Explorer. Okay, so all you need to do is grab this file, and you can just copy it or cut and paste it, and then this is the actual file that gets uploaded. All right, that's it. Thank you.